join the session. Let's see if I can join the session. Just tired of everything sometimes. Now let's see what I'm gonna do.
luck out there.
I am working, huh? You should try it. Ah, bonjour. Au travail. There are things you could do to lower the price, huh? Ah, yes. This is for the connoisseur, yes? À plus tard.
God, loathing I have for these revenue agents. Goddamn thugs in suits, preying on simple country folk. Now apparently they're blocking roads round here, stopping wagons. People are getting antsy. I just had 2 buyers back out of a deal because they think it's too dangerous. So, I reckon it's time these bastards moved on, don't you? Play them at their own game.
What's up, dude? I had just got off like an hour ago or whatever, and so I can just clear my head about some stuff or whatever, you know. So I just, yeah, I ain't want to block anybody, but I had to block a person or whatever, you know. I just had, I didn't, honestly, I didn't want to do it, to tell you the truth. I didn't want to do it because I'm not the person that really block folks, or when everybody else tell me how much of a pain in the butt a person is and everything, it kind of forced me to do it, and I'm not that kind of person to do stuff like that, but I'm just like, man, okay. Yeah, on this. Yeah. Cause that's the thing with, like, with me personally, man. Honestly, my thing is that hopefully, if I didn't really have to block the person in general or whatever, I wouldn't. My only thing is, like, honestly, hopefully he can find some peace with himself and stop being the way he is. That's the only way I can look at it. Whatever. I'm not the person who's conflicted or confrontatorial. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to come to terms and think about some stuff for a minute. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in the back of my head, I'm like, I hope I made the right call. If not, you know, it'll come back to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't even think of planning on doing it. It's just that see, here's the funny thing. I was sitting in I had to go, I got off for a little bit. Sitting there, we're listening to "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" by the Muppets. Okay? Because, it's kind of funny and crazy and everything. And, I'm like, and I had to think to myself, you know what? God knows I'm a decent person. And God would not want me to be like a doormat or whatever. So I had to think about that from a spiritual aspect. And stuff. But if you think about it, do you know how many iterations of "We Wish You Merry Christmas" there is? you can yeah, it's so many, like, it's crazy. I like the way the Muppets did it. Like, they're talking about the figgy pudding, and Miss Piggy was trying to figure out what's figgy pudding, what's that? He said the guy says made it out of, I think, Gonzo or whatever. Because I'm listening to it on Spotify. He says made out of figs. She said, oh, and bacon. And she said, what? Yeah, mine was been giving me issues too. I haven't been able to get in mine till like right now, till like just recently before I joined up with you and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't I know it? I'm glad, and here's the thing: I got a niece, and I'm glad she's so girly. And she likes, other stuff and everything. She's like she's a little entrepreneur herself and stuff. She's gonna be in middle school next school term, well, August of 2020, I should say. And I sometimes I'm like, I love that little girl like she was my own and everything, and she got an Instagram page on top of that. I'm just like, it's funny to me because that's the same little girl I gave $1 to or whatever, $2 whatever, on so she can have some money or whatever. She's like two or three some years old or whatever at the time, and yeah, and this little, and she was and like well, right now we got like a bond and everything. Like we went to see the what is it? We went to the Riverbank Zoo in Colombia, and around 2014 or whatever, between June 2013 and June 2014 and stuff. And everything. Her and I were just talking in the back of my mom and dad. We was like driving to the. My dad was driving us to the zoo. It was like in the summertime, and and she liked to take photos and everything. But we went into a certain spot, and I did not think they would have a snake, a snake behind python looking snake in one of the cages or whatever, in a glass cage, and it's wrapped up on some tree or whatever. But I was looking at a koala bear. And then I saw that joker, man, I took off. I took off, and she was like, Uncle, I don't you know what, honestly, I don't know. It's like, I guess, I don't know, competitiveness, type A personalities, I don't know. No, what happened was he decided to get in he decided like I guess to join the session whatever, and he like mess like disturbing everybody else whatever in the session and stuff like that, and everybody got pissed off at him, the group I was with at the time. So they told me to invite him in the chat or whatever, and then they asked me like, are you gonna kick him or whatever? I had the moment I told him I don't know because I normally don't block folks or kick folks off or whatever. The next thing I know, I get kicked out the party, and everything. So it's and so I just like, what, I'm done for right now. I'm gonna stop playing Red Dead for a little bit and think about some stuff because my stuff ain't working too much anyway, and everything. In there. I just redid my moonshine because I had it in development, and then I had to redo it or whatever. So like and then when I was playing live streaming Jedi Fallen Order or whatever, because I beat the game. I was just exploring the planet I was on, and I'm still stuck on. I gotta get off that planet. I've been on that planet for a minute now, but it's like I had to think about it for a minute, and not in that game. Battlefront 2 you can, but in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order you're the Padawan named Cal Kestis who has escaped Order 66, trying to survive and everything, and you find yourself in it all over again. You meet a former Jedi named Siri whose Padawan turned to the dark side, became an Inquisitor for Darth Vader. And she's hunting you down, and another Inquisitor is hunting you down, and then you run into Darth Vader at the end of the story, and he's choking the heck out of you after you, because you're trying to escape from him. You do fight him a little bit, but he just does, automatic choke you, and then you have to run away from him. And then there's a cutscene where the Jedi Master Siri, she's turned to the she's using her dark emotions to try to like bend him trying to bend him to his will or whatever, and Cal has to stop her, and he used the force you to stop it by bringing the like cracking the glass in the cylinder area, and so they can escape and everything. And then the what's that girl name? The night sister. She has all of a sudden she likes Cal Kestis now. Before you go to like the Inquisitor's fortress or whatever, when they make the Inquisitors or whatever, build them and make them, train them and stuff and everything. So she's in there and stuff. She likes Cal and everything, and how it ends, like they find this Jedi holocron because Siri wants to rebuild the Jedi Order, but they find a holocron that they need. He ends up cutting it. He said, let them decide for themselves whether they want to be a Jedi or not. So he ends up cutting the holocron in two with the lightsaber or whatever. And so he just, because he touched the other lightsaber, and it put him like in a dream state, Force vision, where he was Inquisitor and he was being a Jedi Master, and he ended up being the Inquisitor because he was forced to return to the dark side of the Force, or whatever. And then they show him in his Inquisitor outfit and everything and stuff like that. It was a Force vision, so like a possible reality of what could actually happen. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty dope, though. I mean, it's very insane. I just hate all the platform the way they did. I just hate the way the Respawn did the map. You know, it's not like the Force Unleashed with LucasArts or whatever. You don't have to go from place to place. You know, just a backtrack to find your way back. You know, once the mission is gone, you automatically go in the shit and the cutscene puts you in the next destination. You know. So I honestly, hopefully, man, honestly, I hope one day they can decide to make Starkiller canon. You know, because Starkiller is pretty much what Luke Skywalker would have been if he had turned to the dark side or whatever. You know, that's just pretty much, he's pretty much canon. I mean, in my book, he's canon because the stuff he did, and then Vader making a clone out of him, you know. And that messes up. He made like 2 different clones. One that was ended up being good, and one that he perfected ended up being straight up evil. You know, so you see, like, cause it's like unfortunately there's 2 endings. There's one where the Jedi, Rom Koda, and the rebels, they arrest Vader, and then the second one, you try to go for revenge. The perfected apprentice, clone apprentice of the original Starkiller, shows up with a black cloth robe and lightsaber and stuff, and he stabs Rom Koda or the other guy, whatever, or the girl or whatever, because he had a love interest named Juno Eclipse or whatever. That was her name, and it was like he ended up like just wrecking havoc or whatever and stuff like that. He just ends up he pretty much wrecks havoc in the ending. He shows up. He pretty much like stabs. I don't remember bit by bit, but he shows up, and the girl dies, whatever. And I guess he kills the girl or something like that. But anyway, he shows up and everything because Rom Koda like saying it's not possible. Vader does not know that clone Jedi. That's insane, you know. But he somehow did it, and like they could have put that in there, whereas that's like around like episode 7, whatever. They could have said that, you know, along with Kylo Ren, there was a prince named Starkiller who was trained by Kylo Ren's grandfather, and he was like pretty much strong in the Force, and it would have, you know, they could have did something with that, because that was honestly a decent character. I mean, he wasn't flawed. It was perfect character development. You know, I just wish they would have they said they were going to put him in Rebels, but they took him out of it. I'm like, why? That's a bad call. He's a pretty much well-developed character. Why do you want to take him out? I mean, it's yeah, they pretty much did Star Wars Clone Wars like a season 7, and they got Anakin with the scar on his face. Ahsoka is back and everything. So I'm like, cool. But I think that one's on Netflix. I don't know. I think it's on Netflix though. Cause I've been like since CW, I've been watching that Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that thing is something else. In the first episode, they kill out Green Arrow in the first episode. I'm like, God, dog. He's done. Cause in the Infinite Crisis, the freaking monitor said that Oliver Queen is supposed to die, the Flash is supposed to die, but with the Flash they did it different, where the Flash that played as the Flash of the 90s, that was in the 90s series or whatever, the guy that plays the actor that played as him, he died. That version of Flash died in the series. And in the game, yeah, they could have done something a little bit better with Iron Man. It's ridiculous. I mean, I understand there's like gamma radiation. They should have just, if they had to, I don't know how they. If it's not in the script, yeah, it should have killed him off like that. But I would have liked to see him like get old and catch up with his see how his daughter would have turned out and everything, because he wanted to have a child. He got one, and then they actually saw a scene. No, I think it's in the DVD features, but there was a scene where his daughter's all grown up, but she gets a chance to say, yeah, yeah. They just showed that in Endgame. In Endgame, they showed him and his daughter and everything. So and they had a scene that they could have put in there with his daughter all grown up. She get the chance to talk to her daddy for her as a grown up and everything and stuff like that. Probably. I mean, it's probably gonna be like Avengers, the Children of Avengers, something like that. Cause I heard that the Galacticus gonna be the next villain for the Avengers or whatever. I'm like, okay. Yeah, he was good. They had him as Cable and. Really? That's interesting. That's that that acting genes run deep. Like it's the same thing with the Wayans brothers. Michael Wayans got, yeah, yeah. Even the sons, even Junior, their son, he got a little acting chops from his dad and everything. I mean, when they did Lethal Weapon, I was glad to see him. Like Damian Wayne is back and everything, but bruh, like in the Jamie Foxx show, man, Jamie Foxx was playing all them different characters. I mean, him and freaking Martin Lawrence, man, like now Martin, man, he still can cut up now. He talking about like hey. Yeah, Martin looking old. That sucker looking old now, but you ever seen one of his stand up? You ever seen the stand up where he talking about how he was a Golden Glove boxing champion and everything? Talking about like how he would stand up to this dude like 6'8" or whatever, and that's how he knew he was gonna be an actor and stuff. Talking about like about Mike Tyson. Who would you let Mike Tyson hit you for like $10 million or whatever? Man, it's so crazy, man. It's hilarious, like Mike Tyson and everything. I actually have a collection I can sell, but I'm not gonna sell it like right then and there because I might need to try to see if I got another collection I can complete and everything. Because they giving out all these collection partials and stuff, and they may be helping with your collection and stuff. Yeah, fine. Sounds like the better idea. Sounds good to me, because I've been doing. Hopefully, we get a mission where we have to go to the saloon and beat up the other moonshiners. I done did two of them already, and then that Joker was fun. Yeah. I haven't lost any of mine. I just haven't been able to get into mine. Yeah, because when I got on in the very first hour of the day, I got that that Krampus shotgun variant skin for the shotgun and stuff. right, hold on. I'm not talking about. We got some stuff we gotta put up. We got some clothes we need to put up. I'm like, I'm not. I don't feel like putting up no clothes from the washer and dryer. Right. How you go to what it parties? How you go to what is it invites when it's gonna go to invite? Okay, invite oh I gotta switch the public shit from private to public. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got it on public, but I'm gonna probably put it once you get them in. I'm gonna switch it back to private and everything. You know, so we don't, nobody won't be dealing with no BS. I mean, it's crazy, man. Yeah, yeah, man. It put my. I mean, when I had to put my, I'm like, I either I didn't want to block them or whatever, but I had to figure out if I either do that or I just delete my account and be done with it. You know, I'm like, yeah, yeah, right. I mean, and then the thing of, and I think my biggest weakness is like I'm a nice person, I'm a decent person, there, and I try to give people the benefit of the doubt for a while. And then then the run when the one runs spin, I have to figure out what to do with that part of myself that don't want that wants to say, you know, just go ahead and just block them and be done with. Why you always give someone a chance or whatever when they're not gonna give you the same respect in return with everybody else around you or whatever? I'm like, you know, it's that complicated BS all the time. You know, morals and moral compass and everything. That's why I don't screw every girl I see because I got a freaking moral compass. As much as I want to and tap them and everything, I mean, I still don't. I don't really go through it. Right. I mean, I mean, honestly, the other, and the funny thing is with my, I can honestly say, at the back of my head, I got random girls I know that probably like me that I haven't seen, but when they run into me, they be breaking their neck trying to get a peek, try to get a peek of me. You know, and that go man, that been going on for years at a minute. Yeah, go to click on yeah, body like select yeah, select which one you want to use. Yeah. Hey, did you go ahead and invite him? Because I don't know how to invite the suggested part. All right. Yeah. 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 I mean, at one time I was just thinking about just appearing offline to begin with. Yeah. Eventually. Eventually. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I be checking out my like for example, I'm on Slack and everything, and my business partner and I, and we talk with this we talk with the folks who's interested in working with us. So right now we got one, two, three people interested in working with us, and we're gonna make an announcement about we're gonna make an announcement sometime next year and stuff like that. You know, gonna make an announcement about the about like who like our LLC being official. You know, cause we had a GoFundMe account and nobody didn't even put any money in there to support the business and everything. You know, cause we needed at least 80. He put in there the goal was 80K. You know, and which make it, and it's reasonable because you trying and that's just to start it up. You know, and we talk about expanding and everything. You know, we trying to. I told him we gonna we our goal is to have one. Well, my goal for the studio is to have a game studio under us in all 50 states, which is something that has never been done before. You know, so we try. That's one of the major goals, and then to get us out, there's a thing called PlayStation Partners. I don't know if you heard of it. PlayStation Partners. If you have an actual business like a game studio business, game studio, or whatever, and stuff, and if you register with them, they will allow you to make console games for them. They'll give you the support you need and everything. That's what it's called. It's still loading on my screen. It's called PlayStation Partners. That's what it's called. Mm-hmm. And they got it for if you want to do games for Xbox. It's called Independent Games at Xbox. And Nintendo got something like similar to that or whatever, a similar name or whatever. So. Yeah, I just don't like how they made the new console though. It looked like a big refrigerator, or a miniature box. You know, they took yeah, that's souped up for as a computer system or whatever. I mean, I hope so. I hope so because you know Japan they don't play. I mean. I mean, they don't play now. I mean, it's the funny thing is about Japan is they are the kind of people they are the kind of technology city that you really don't hear about much, you know, because they big on gaming and mobile gaming. I mean, they say that a lot of them still play the PS Vita on their way to work or coming from work on their way to school or coming from school while they're taking the bus or whatever, you know. I mean, you go to Japan, you take your child to get a school education in Japan. Don't be surprised when they have to go to school for 6 days, where they go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday, and only have Sunday off. Don't be surprised, because they have a strict repertoire. You know, it's because Japan, like you go to school and play, you get in trouble in Japan, they don't play. They ain't like us. They ain't gonna suspend you. They just gonna put you out indefinitely. You know, and everything. I think that's what's wrong with like they need to. I think some of these kids they'd be better off they went to school in Japan and then come back a year, like 6 years later, with a different mindset, you know, and everything. That's what I mean. That's what I think, you know. Um, I don't know. Um, oh, um, Might have to do like the what's that? What's its face? The festive showdowns or whatever. That's what I. And them jokers, they pretty good. Like pretty this. No, it ain't either. It's a funny thing. I'm sitting there like, man, they need to fix that. Right. And then usually the numbers, for the percentage of numbers will come up by now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the main reason. I mean, they paying a programmers 60 something thousand a year, and they can't even get that fixed. They the developers, 'cause they technically the proper name is developer. They paying them that much a year, they can't even get that fixed. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I'm looking to see. Hopefully, they'll tell us about how they're gonna do PlayStation Plus for the PlayStation 5. It needs to be free because this makes no sense. Because mine run out in June, so. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. It's a mission over. Ah. And it makes the boing noise at the end. Oh boy, let me check my.
Anything new on Red Dead?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's. Yeah, and sometimes you try not, and then sometimes you try not to be one. That's the funny thing, and you end up being one by accident.
What's new?
Yeah, and I don't like being that kind of player in the game half the time. You know what I'm saying? I try to be friendly or whatever. I try to be nice, not really be a hole or whatever. But it's crazy though. Yeah, because I try to live by what my father tells me. Like, my father told me when I was real little, when I was in fifth grade, and we were sitting at this seafood restaurant. He says, he looks at me, and this is before he hit 70 something. He looks at me, and he tell me it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. At a young age, I did not know what that meant, but now I do, and I try to, and I try to pride myself on that one adage. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. I try to put that in my moral compass all the time. Cause my dad, he don't cuss, he don't drink. And that's kind of hard. I mean, I don't drink either, but it's kind of hard for me not to cuss every once in a while, because he be dealing with BS and stuff and life and everything, I mean, and I try not to and everything. And like my mom, she's a minister. We supposed to move back to Edmonds or Grovetown so she could finish her ministering training courses and stuff like that and everything. So I try to not to say so much not nice stuff if you catch my drift and everything, and I gotta, yeah, it's like I got more pressure on me than anybody else, like, cause it's like I'm not pretty much like, it's like they say, you're not from this, you're not of this world, you're different, you're special and everything. You have to figure out what God has for you to do and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like, in the back of my head, like, I haven't even finished my life yet. I haven't even raised my own kids and sent them off to college, let alone You know, it's like that. It's like that. It's like sometimes it's like that spiritual journey always comes in and looks for you when it really try to grab your attention. So I went to this church. I went to this play at this church and everything, and they had like the Last Supper, right? So I did it with the family, with my mom and the lady landlord of the husband and stuff, because he's giving us a house in there, like let us stay in the house. We just got to pay him $1,000 a month. And long story short, the pastor himself, he asked me, will I come up to the stage with three other people? And he had the Last Supper with me, along with everybody, but he did it individually. Like he had the Last Supper with me, you know, and it kind of threw me off for a minute and everything, because and I'm sitting there like I'm not special. I'm just an ordinary human being, you know. I'm a Christian. I believe in church. I believe in God and everything, you know. And I'm sitting there like, wow. I'm sitting there because it's like how. What is it? My mom talking about you been called a preacher. No, I haven't. No, don't you put that on me. Don't you put that burden on me. That's you. right, right. Like, don't you put that on me. Cause I mean, I got to change my whole outlook and everything and stuff like that. And you know, that's some.
I've been looking at shit a lot different ever since this shit went down with me and my hub. I mean, fucking, you can't trust nobody, dude.
Yeah,
Real shit.
yeah, and like even in the Bible says, trust in no man. You know, and that's it.
I don't give a fuck. Ain't nobody just gonna put a fucking store over you.
Yeah,
That's just fucking ridiculous.
yeah. Hold on, let me join your. I'm trying to make sure I join the podcast. Hold on.
Yeah, I spawned this back at Netflix. See if I do it again. Another fucking $3 spawned.
I mean, it's something else. You know, I sit there like and this been going on in my life for a while. Like you know, like like pastors will go to different church. They will prophesize and everything. I'm like, you can prophesize all you want to, but if you prophesize the wrong thing, God gonna get you for it. You know what I'm saying? You know that thing that spirituality thing. You don't mess with someone's spirituality. You know everything. You know, cause I know what it's like to trust anybody. I saw my mother get hurt in the church. You know, visually and everything. She was supposed to do a trial sermon and everything, and I saw visually how she got hurt in the church and stuff. You know, and then we ended up going to another church and everything. But long story short, you know, when it came time for her to put bygones aside and everything, because my sister was sick and everything. You know, my sister made her call the man in a way because she's special needs. She said she wanted to hear about. She asked about the pastor, and the pastor's name was Pastor Hill, Pastor Clarence D. Hill, I guess. I think it's his full name. Anyway, you know, I guess they had to find a way to sort out their issues or whatever and stuff like that, so she can and everything. Cause he spoke. That pastor actually spoke at my sister's funeral. You know, I mean, and then the funny thing about that funeral was it was in my cousin's church, and he was the pastor of that church, and he owns like 3 funeral homes. You know, and it was like, man, okay, and then and he looked, and that pastor was looking kind of very uncomfortable. You know, he looked like he was stepping on hot coal the way his mannerism was, cause my cousin, they know him. You know, that all of them that are ministers, they know him.
Yeah. Come downstairs, dude, because he's working on it right now. It's already at 11. It's a date dash. 8, really.
Bonjour,
Yeah, I've
patron.
been dealing with that shit with her, trying to make her realize not talking to us and then her fucking stupid shit every day on Facebook, making people curse out for me.
You know what? You put her on Dr. Phil, and no, you put her on Iyanla Fix My Life. I mean, and Iyanla gonna make her realize everything. She will make them do homework. That girl, that lady will make them do homework. She will put their issues in front of them, and make them face them issues. But you know, you piss her off, she won't have nothing to do with you. Won't even continue the episode or whatever. I mean, I mean, shoot. I was watching it and everything, and they have the. I was watching everything.
Excuse me. I do not wish to complain, but the price for the ingredients for the mash is not so good. Perhaps you should discuss this carefully.
Uh huh.
I was kind of fucked up because I don't watch it.
Yeah. Like I got like with one girl. It was like with the first it was pretty much like she had her home, but I guess and I mean I told about my mother up front and stuff, but it was more like I didn't think she really believed me. But after she heard what went down and what happened, it kind of it scared her because I was FaceTiming with her and stuff. We have a little romantic FaceTime and stuff. And my mother walked in on myself, made FaceTiming her and stuff, and she spooked out because I didn't have no clothes on or whatever. But long story short, she spooked out and it was mortified and everything, and talked to my daddy and everything, and you know, and wanted to know what the you know and everything. Thought I was watching the porno and stuff. And the funny thing was it happened right after my birthday, because my birthday was the 25th of October. That happened that Saturday. I'm bruh, and that's when like the girl and I started having issues or whatever. We didn't have no issues because I didn't bring up my mom or nothing like that, and I introduced her to it whatever because I was trying to do it. I was trying to wait it whatever, you know. But I felt like her and I've been talking since August. You know, August, September. It's about time one of us we found a way to get together, you know, and then the funny thing.
Wait 13 years like I did. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I found out when, right, it's like, I found out when, she's like, I'm like, you know, we can fix this, or like, when you get back, you gonna get all the loving when you get back from your break, if she would, have reconciled, so I told her that she should gonna get all the loving she can get from me, or to make it up and stuff, but she was angry and at me, and she wouldn't talk to me and nothing like that. And next thing you know, she's changing her number, and she took me off her friends list on Snapchat. You know, so I'm like, okay, you want to play that game? Okay.
Got some scandalous bitches in this world, dude. Tell me.
It's funny, cause you know the other chick I met before her. I met her like around like July or whatever. We were just talking. Met her like through Snapchat or whatever, something like that. But we were talking and stuff and everything. I didn't really go after her because she didn't have a big old butt. She didn't have a big butt or whatever. She wasn't thick in there. She was skinny. She would do it, but she was skinny and everything. It's like, you know, it's like she had a nice chest, but her you know, she was just pretty much, her body was a skinny body with a nice chest, and the you know, she wear like a 2 in the waist or something like that, you know. I wonder if someone had a little bit of something I can gravitate and hold on to if I ever want to get warm up and spoon a woman or whatever. So that's why I didn't really go after her at first, and now she's on me and I guess dick ride me or whatever because she likes me a lot and everything. So she says she's supposed to come see me tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Well, I guess it is Christmas Eve now, but she's supposed to come see me on Christmas Eve in there, everything. 251. Yeah. Shoot, man. I honestly, Mm-hmm.
She won't realize one day, I guess.
Yeah. She look.
By then it's gonna be too late.
By then you probably gonna move on to another chick or whatever. You know, if that's the case.
Yeah, 'cause I don't want to tell her you want some fucking bitch riding around in my new Mustang and sucking on your dong. Or you gonna lose your fucking mind, right?
You know,
Straight up, bullshit.
I mean, honestly, the girl didn't even want to. She just said bye, and then didn't even want to work out anything. Next thing I know, I'm looking at my.
I'm trying to work shit out, and it's like obviously she ain't even putting the fucking effort to. You know, you can't fucking be with somebody who don't want to
Right,
try to put the effort.
right,
When the motherfucker that's been doing shit for that person, for all them years.
yeah, yeah. You know, with the last girl, her and I would usually play GTA together every once in a while, or I would try to play Apex Legends with her and stuff, even though I know I suck at the game or whatever. But still, just to show that I'm spending time with her and stuff, and that's how we would usually spend time together until she was able to, her and I able to come see, like, till she was able to meet up with me or whatever. You know, so like now, if she ends up coming back on GTA, I'm just gonna spawn in her session, just blow her behind up or whatever, you know, till I'm satisfied. And like, yeah, we done. This is it.
Well, my bitch lived here, so
That's even worse.
yeah, she was my wife for those 13 years. She fucking lived with me.
And then that one was, it was,
Teens is what's fucked up though. They used to fucking waking up and fucking and get their into stupid bitch.
yeah. Now you see what she turned into. That's the funny thing.
Dude, you see right through that shit.
Yeah,
I'm that type of motherfucker. I seen through all that bullshit. I ain't gonna put up with that shit.
right.
Let's get forward with this shit. You know, basically, you can't fucking be with somebody that's
Yeah, and then I,
especially if that person's trying to protect, you know, that person over some bullshit.
right,
Too stupid to realize,
right.
you know. And most of them girls, they don't fucking realize. They too stupid to fucking realize, you know, when bad shit's going on. And when you try to make them 14 out of 20 already, they don't realize that shit. A chick showed me this shit last night after you got off.
But yeah, man, I was like, when it, with her, it's like I was trying to give her the benefit of, with her, we didn't have no issues. She said, whatever. If I had made her feel comfortable, I asked her what I did wrong or whatever. But it was more like, every time she was feeling intimate and aroused, whatever, you know, she didn't want me to get on and talk to her or whatever, and do it like that cyber sex mess or whatever. I'm like, cut it out. I'm like, the heck with that. But I liked her, so I just did it because to make her happy, you know, or whatever. But long story short, it was like when she got mad, when she didn't talk or whatever. She just said she changing up stuff or whatever. She said she just,
This is one of my Facebook posts the other day. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio
yeah,
with the wine glass.
yeah,
Everybody.
yeah.
To all my exes, you can block my Facebook, delete my number, but you can never unsuck my cock.
And
I would post that on every single one of her fucking posts.
and it's a funny thing. The thing about me, the thing about her was she was gonna be my she's gonna be my first. On top of that, but she ended up screwing that up. Period, because of her not wanting to not to reconcile everything and stuff like that. And I tried to see past it, because this one was half black, half white, and half Mexican, and that's too much. You know, I think she acted more black than anything. You know, but overall, it was like she could have, you know, just said she was willing to reconcile with me and we're gonna move on or whatever. She could have had somebody to be with on Christmas or whatever, because I know she's probably spending it with her family and everything. I mean,
It's like I know what she's doing. She's spending it with her family, but it ain't the fucking point that we've been through all that shit all these years.
hmm
Get fucking over that fucking bullshit with that goddamn stuff and see what the fuck means something to you in life. Because if a motherfucker really means something to you, they wouldn't pick a fucking job over you.
right,
Straight the fuck up.
right,
Obviously, they don't need
right. I mean, with her, it was more like she had her own and everything. But there's only one thing I was kind of iffy about, because she said she owned a weed. I was looking at some of the stuff, question guys were asking her, whatever, and one of them, and then she owned a lot of business, and one of them was a weed business. And I'm sitting there like, you making all this money with like your own like furniture business and your own hair business, and you got like an online website, whatever, all the other stuff. Why in the world you need that? You know what I'm saying? And if her and I had ended up together, I would have made her left that alone and passed it on to somebody else. Cause I didn't. If we were her and I were gonna have kids, we don't need that stuff coming to our. Nobody coming to our door about about a weed delivery and stuff, and kids. I didn't figure out what that is. So I didn't. We didn't. I didn't really get a chance to talk to her about that, but I know about it and everything. When and stuff like that. So it was more like I was just hoping that she would have. We could actually have sit down and talk about some stuff over. Because the messed up part was my dad was giving her a shot to come over, and then after all the stuff that went down, my dad was giving her a shot so she can come over and see me like that weekend or whatever. It kind of like my mom, she's real strict. She was like, you know what, the girl, whoever the girl you're talking to, she no good for you. And I know Autumn heard it, because that was her name was Autumn, and everything. So it was like,
Mine's is good for me. She just needs to change her ways about shit.
yeah. So now it's
I'm gonna tell you, that shit about blondes is fucking true. Them bitches is dingy as fuck.
I didn't know that. I thought they were just like they said dumb blondes, and I didn't think. I thought that was just a cliche, but I guess that is
No,
true.
it ain't. It's fucking really fucking true. That bitch is fucking stupid. You don't go to a store and you gotta tell somebody 15 fucking times, hey bitch, get what you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want in this store, get whatever you want to eat. You know? Shit like that. The
Well,
thing
yeah.
about that shit that pisses me off. But what you gonna do, you know? You can't fucking make somebody do right if they don't wanna fucking do right.
Yeah.
That's almost ready.
She was, and then she's talking about and then she said on Instagram she don't want to deal with nobody, be with it, and to be in a relationship that has drama or stress with her. I'm like, when you get married, you gonna deal with some drama and some stress, you know.
Exactly. You gonna deal with hard times.
I mean, I don't know what her deal gonna be, So it's like, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, if it's God's will for her and I to really like reconnect and try to work something out, that's up to God. But right now, she forced her way out. And once you force your way out of my life, you don't get no invite. You don't get no easy invite back in.
Like that too, because I was like, if you do me something bad, I fucking will regret with you my whole fucking life. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't play this shit. And she knows how I am too. She knows that I'm holding this fucking, like I'm not gonna let it fucking go behind that goddamn store, you know?
I mean,
You know? Oh, was they work there? But was that close to you? Well, okay, you stay working that close to me, but guess what? Now we ain't together. You don't have no family here. You don't have no friends here. Get the fuck.
right.
You don't have a fucking reason to even be here. You know? That's the way I see it. It's at 18 out of 20 already, dude.
Oh wow.
See, I got my band over there, boy.
Yeah, I see it. Cause that's what you were missing with the band.
Yeah. But the way I'm fucking like, you know, I know I'm fucking being a dick about this shit, maybe too much, but
No, you have every right. You got every right to
I got videos of people getting knocked out in the store. I got evidence of a home manager trying to fuck the other girls working there, not with the people they want.
right.
I could really start a lot of shit with this fucking place.
Right. I mean, you got every All right, you, yeah, you. I mean, you got every right to feel how you feel because you trying to tell her what like the right morals and everything, stuff like that, and she's with you and everything. You know, you
Mom and tell somebody you've been with for 13 years that, you know, that been trying to make you quit that place for over a year. The boss was trying to fucking manage you.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Who else in a right mind ain't gonna flip the fuck out and not think about that shit with they old lady? You know what I'm saying? Well, fuck that.
I mean, it's a
See over here, motherfuckers know I can fight. So the boss done fucking done left this whole state and then went to Michigan fucking scared because he thinks I'm gonna beat his ass. Fucking gangsters out there. Fuck yeah, dude. You don't think, you know, he knows? Motherfucker, that's fucking petty type shit.
yeah. See, and then now this one, like the other one that like, that's currently just pretty much talking about how much she likes me and everything, stuff like that. She's black, white, Puerto Rican, and Indian. You know, so I mean, I have a unique flavor when it comes to women, but I just want one of them out of all of them that look, treat me right, understand me, be there for me, don't do no extra stuff, and don't be controlling. You know, don't think you can have your way in everything.
She was kind of controlling. Like, she didn't want me talking to my daughter. She'd get mad at me talking to my daughter.
Well, that's your daughter. That's your daughter. I'm like,
She would get mad at me thinking that, you know, I want my ex back. I'm damn well no, I didn't, you know.
I'm like,
It was a bunch of shit. Like, I couldn't talk to my family with this bitch, dude, realistically.
wow.
She would get mad if I would even talk to any of my cousins. Like, who's that? Like, bitch, I ain't trying to fuck my cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
bitch, like, she would be the one sitting on my face. The mission started.
Oh,
Bitch, you sitting on my fucking Facebook all fucking wee hours of the night. You know who my fucking family is. Like, you come in, you had a family reunion. She'll come in, who's that? Who you talking to? I'm like, bitch, you know that's my cousin. Shit like that.
see, here's the thing. This is what I did with the other chick, with the other chick. The one that came like, don't get surprised. I said something like online, don't get surprised if my ex love and just try to get back with me or whatever. I'm saying that to her now so she can do what she needs to do to make sure I end up with her. You know,
Yeah, well,
I mean, you,
you know, even though I'm still kind of starting shit, telling them some bullshit, you know, I'm still with big shit with that bitch. But at this point, I'm getting to where she's fucking up. So get on the wagon with me.
all right.
Spawned you outside.
No, I'm still inside. Hold on, let me exit. Hold on.
I'm gonna ride off a little bit. But she don't fucking realize, dude, that she knows how I am about holidays and shit like Thanksgiving and fucking Christmas and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm.
Gotta be fucking family.
Oh yeah.
Like they making fucking turkey and all kind of shit tomorrow over here. You know what I'm saying?
True.
No, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna be sitting in my fucking room by my goddamn self, mad at the fucking world. You heard me?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
That's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing with like with this bro. I asked her, "Oh, will you like to spend Thanksgiving weekend with me?" She said yes. So okay, Thanksgiving Eve comes around. She asked me for some money or whatever because she's trying to fix a meal and everything. You know, and then I'm like, look, I don't have the money with her. I don't. And Thanksgiving Day comes, she's mad at me.
Jump on the wagon with me.
Hold on. She's mad at me and stuff, and I'm like, for what? And then I have to be like sexual to her just to get so I can talk to her or whatever. And that's like the only thing she'll understand, man. That's a trap because they're gonna expect the wagon. They're gonna start shooting.
I know, we're gonna take the fuck off. Trying to get that shit. Yeah, I know, dude. It fucking sucks going through that shit with girls, but
And then she talking about, oh, she want me to get on Skype so she can see me and everything. I'm like, we done did this extra several times. Oh, they about to start shooting, or whatever, you know. And I mean, it's like it's outdated for me. I'm like, if you're gonna be with me, then do something about it. If you want me, then do something about it. Don't be telling me you're gonna do something and don't do it. You know, she like to call me on Snapchat. Like, call me call me without Snapchat. She's like, how? I'm like, how? You should know how to do it by now.
yeah. Well, this bitch didn't want me buying
I was in a relationship with a girl where I could not call. She could call me, but I couldn't call her. And I couldn't, and it was like I couldn't even.
Sad is I could go in my safe right now and pull out all kind of money. You know what I'm saying? And get in a brand new fucking Mustang and go fucking rip off like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it's not like she knows. It's just don't realize the shit like
I mean, they don't. And then the funny thing is, like the ones, like and the ones that actually got themselves together and think they're it, and like they think they self-made or whatever. They don't realize when someone actually likes them, actually want to be there for them and try to and everything, and they mess that up, and then and all they stuck with is their money and everything, going for it and blowing through. Next thing you know, they go broke because they have no kind of business ethics or morals.
realize what they got good until they fucking lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they want to complain that every man's bad in this fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
Which I should have knocked the fuck out of her. But still. Alright, I'm gonna close my shit down and let's go to yours.
I think mine should. Yeah, my witch card should be ready, but it may not be. I hope it is.
Do what I just did mine. Let me get into this. Hostage. That's not let me join it.
Oh, I don't. It's not even let me invite you. I don't know what the
Because you got too many people in your posse.
man.
You gotta swallow for 'em.
Oh, hold on, Mossy. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. Eh,
One of them motherfuckers up right now, yours. There's this chick without a dumb ass, she can join him back.
Oh, I just. Oh, crap. Hold on. I'm doing the wrong.
Yeah, go to your posse, go to your members.
I'm going to that, and it's not showing. It's like current members is not showing up. Oh, and wait a minute. It's actually empty. I don't have that many members. It's actually empty.
Yeah,
Maybe because I'm not. Maybe because I don't know. Is it because I have too many? I'm affiliated with too many posses. I don't know what it is.
go to your camp and make it a large camp.
Yeah, hold on. I think let me do that then.
Yeah.